report. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, see Lowe's.com. Climate is
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. Care enough. Care enough. Care enough.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hit his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane. Got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
The messenger for only life, dwelling at the crossroads, a noble man he serves first, gatekeeper. I find the path we die. He's a fighter, shapeshifter, and he'll protect your home. With the eyes in the front and the back of the head to chase away evil forces. Moving me can be instead, so long as you bring the office. He's got the ashe I can't deny. I am a witness, I'll testify. This song, my Omiki, my sacrifice to the one who can do and undo. Holographic reprocessing really beautifully brings it all together to look at how people do the best they can to get their needs met. You could have 5 people in a room, all who've experienced the same event, and what each of them.
Don't worry, we'll get that clip back up running for y'all. But listen, I promise you, I don't know what Robin is going to talk about on her show. We don't sit down and collaborate together like, I'm going to talk about this, what you going to do. We don't do that. However, it just seems apropos that my topic is in lockstep in a different way than Robin's. We have a lot of discussions about the Black community and healing, right? Healing from generational curses and trauma, and why is there a war between Black men and Black women, and and I'm in the other room listening, and I'll be like, hey, hold on, wait, hey, wow. I love Robin's show, by the way. Heavy stuff, right? Just very heavy stuff. So I posit this idea. You know how they say there's a wealth gap in the Black community that is so insurmountable. Now, this is according to what's my guy down at Duke?
Krzyzewski?
No. He's the leading economic professor down at Duke. Sandy Darity, world leading economics professor, Sandy Darity. And him and others, they came out et al. They came out with an 11-point study that basically says these 11 things we can do and it still won't close the wealth gap, right? These 11 things that we don't understand about the wealth gap, right? You can look this up online, right? Sandy Darity and others, right? Right? What we get wrong about the wealth gap. You can look it up. Okay? But there are other gaps as well. I think there is a science gap. Right? Now, you have to understand something about Western science. Western science was born out of the ancient world's mysticism, the mystery schools. And what you're starting to find out, psychology is a science, right? And what you're starting to find out is the psychologists and the mental health professionals are starting to pull concepts from the ancient times, right? 25 years ago, 30 years ago, you would not hear them talking about mindfulness in psychology. Well, mindfulness is meditation adjacent. What does this have to do with anything, Zoe? Let me tell you something. Black folk always say we spiritual, right? Yeah, we spiritual folk. But I think sometimes, the ongoing angst between Black men and women is an example that we haven't tapped in deep enough spiritually. So on tonight's topic, heal holographically. Ooh, I know y'all not ready for that. Let me give it to you another way. The death of fear and trust. Holographic healing. What does that mean, Zoe? The death of fear and trust. Most of us don't even know how to be in a relationship without fear and trust being our bridegrooms and bridesmaids. Fear and trust are the bridegroom and bridesmaids of our relationships. Why? Because we are inherently fearful. We're inherently scared. Do you see? Why? Because we've been wounded. How? Because we modeled wounded people, wounded examples. What's an example of a wounded person? WIP, work in progress. We always say, oh, men need to do this and women need to do that. Do you know Black men and women in America are equally wounded by this toxic society? Now, the manifestations may appear differently, but both Black men and women have been wounded. How is it that we can be wounded by a particular system and then we turn around and turn on each other? It's her fault. It's his fault. Oh, it's going to get deep tonight. It is going to get deep tonight. Tavis Smiley had a very powerful author whom I've been following. I got her book a while ago. I was reading it, or the new book I got, and been reading it. Dr. Marielle, I think it's Bouquet, and Marielle Bouquet. Powerful book. I suggest you all get it. Right? I suggest you all get it. Because when I integrate this holographic principle to healing tonight, you're going to understand something. You're going to understand something about what we carry forward into our relationships. Tonight's topic, the death of fear and trust. Have you ever been in a relationship that was devoid of fear? Have you ever been in a relationship where you didn't need trust? Like, trust was unnecessary. Fear had no place. Trust and fear are closer to us than some of our family members. Why is that? Huh? Why? Why is that the case? See, that's where the conversation is. The conversation is not in blame. The conversation is in the origin of our wounds, right? And once you get to the origin of the wound, then you can get to what? The impact of the wound. Once you get to the impact of the wound, you can start unpacking the wound and start healing it. Where there is no healing, there will be blame. Somebody meme it. Where there is no healing, there will be blame. There will be blame shifting. Yes, Dr. Marielle Bouquet, her new book is called Break the Cycle, and she's talking about generational curses, right? Listen to this. When you heal from your past, you heal not only yourself, but also the generations that came before, as well as the ones that come after you. Why? Because even if your mother has passed, even if your father has passed, do you know their genes live in you? Do you know your grandmothers live in you? Do you know, listen, you are your own little universe that contains everything you need. All your ancestors, everything is in you. You got 1 million ancestors on both sides of your family. You can call on your big mama through your genes. The African knew this. Ifa, right? Akan, they knew this. Ancestors was big because they said, oh no, they not dead. We alive, so they're alive, right? Now we're starting to get into generational curses. And you say, oh, Zoe, what are you talking about? Okay, since you don't want to believe me, believe science. Since everybody logical, since everybody mastered logic, and science is the highest form of logic, the highest form of intellectualization on the planet Earth is science. We'll get into the science of it tonight, right? Is Reiki or Reiki a holographic healing practice? Are you operating at a suboptimal level if you have a healthy body with an unhealed heart/soul? Is the opposite true as well? Is your subconscious mind the key to healing your body, mind, and soul? I need to know. What are the benefits of healing holographically? That is to say, healing the mind, the body, and soul simultaneously. What is holographic manipulation therapy? Oh, there's such a thing? Yes. You didn't know about it. How is it that we know about Sexy Red, but we don't know about holographic manipulation therapy? Does holographic manipulation therapy need a better PR person? How does holographic manipulation therapy work in the context of healing trauma and abuse? Can holographic healing address generational curses and break the cycle of negative patterns? Some people say, well, what do the two words mean together? Holographic and healing. Well, in a way, the words are redundant, right? Holographic, right? Holos, we getting into our Latin and Greek. Holos just means whole. Grapha from the Greek gramma means writing, whole writing. I wrote a book in 2019, or a book came out in 2019. I had been writing it for the 4 previous years to that, since 2015. And I wrote a book called The Holographic Relationship. Whole writing. When you start getting into attachment theory, you start getting into Buddha, attachment is the source of suffering. You start getting into codependency. You start to find out that your whole story has been written all over your spirit, and you carry it with you from experience to experience to experience. So holograph or holographic means whole writing. Graph means to write, right? Holos means whole. Well, so does heal when you're looking at it from its etymological root. Old English, halen, it means cure, save, make, whole, sound, and well. So heal means whole. So would holographic healing mean heal your story? Heal your whole story? Uh-oh. Heal your whole story. So fear and your codependency on trust doesn't have a place in your relationships anymore. We are so toxic right now that people lead with mistrust. You got to earn my trust in order for me to open up. Ooh. Uh-oh. Huh? I'm going to tell you right now, the most important thing to me is loyalty. That's a fear-based mentality. That's a scarcity-based mentality. You need to be loyal because that means I can trust you around my things, namely my heart. Come on. Come on. How does the concept of holographic healing align with the idea that one person's healing can impact all generations before and after them? Because all generations are carried in you now. There was some research put out recently that showed your grandmama had your mama and you in her womb. How? Because your mama had all of her eggs, even as a baby, even as a zygote, in the womb. Holographic, the whole story. When we come forward, are you ready to kill death? Are you ready to kill fear and trust? Are you ready to delve into this concept of holographic healing on the VOR?
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives
who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis
1 minute.
on the Skid Row community.
Hey, y'all should be calling in.
They expanded their housing and healthy food
Don't be afraid.
into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit.
Everybody hit that like button. Come on. Hit that like button. Let's go.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Clip right after.
August moon, where are the stars of the night? Would you promise me too soon, cause it's been cloudy all night. But the weatherman said, if you're not well, stay in bed. Cause I've been feeling down and blue, and it's cloudy in my head. Instead of going out to some restaurant, I'll stay home in bed. I'll be loving you. That's what I wanna do. That's what I want to do. No midnight lover, you're the one I adore. I'm thinking of you to the stars. No more. It's cloudy, you're blue. I'll stay here with you. We'll make a wish and then we'll kiss. Our love forever true. Instead of going out to some restaurant, I'll stay here with you. And I'll be loving you. That's what I wanna do. I'll be loving you. That's what I wanna do.
Holographic reprocessing really beautifully brings it all together to look at how people do the best they can to get their needs met. You could have 5 people in a room, all who've experienced the same event. And what each of them experiences as traumatic about the event will be different based on the experiences that they had prior to that event. You know, there's some common themes that run through a person's life. So the hologram part of holographic reprocessing essentially speaks to that you can look at a person's life at 7, 13, 16, 27, 56. And even though what's happening in life will be different at these different times, and will have different characters, there's common patterns. When you're triggered and your core violation is activated, your emotions may seem really big for the situation at hand. And that's because you're not only reacting to what's happening right now, it's like plugging in a string of Christmas lights. And each one of those bulbs on the string of Christmas lights represents a different time in your life. This core violation has been activated.
Holographic, your whole story is written all over you. Gosh, we're trying to get to happily ever after, and we haven't even gone to war yet. The wounds set the stage for the self-war. Ooh, somebody go meme it. Holographic healing is a profound concept that explores the interconnectedness of mind, body, and soul, and its potential to transform not only individuals, but also the generations that come before and after them. On tonight's show, we will delve into the works of course, myself, the holographic relationship, Dr. George Gonzalez, DC, Dr. Mariel Bouquet, Babette Rothschild, and Dr. David R. Hawkins to provide a comprehensive explanation of holographic healing. By incorporating clinical, philosophical, psychological, and social perspectives, we're going to try to uncover the transformative power of holographic healing and its implication for personal and collective well-being. When I tell you we about to cook with the rarest grease, you've been through slavery, black folks. You trying to tell me that holographic imprint isn't still there when we look at black men and women and the way we interface with each other today? Oh, here we go. When we come forward, phone lines will be open. I'm ready to talk to everybody. Non-judgmental conversation. Get in here. Let's talk. No, the lines are not full. We got 2 lines, but they're not full.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris held their first joint campaign rally of the 2024 election season. The two are making abortion rights a key issue of the 2024 re-election campaign. During a campaign event in Manassas, Virginia, Biden said Donald Trump and his conservative majority Supreme Court ripped away abortion rights from women when it struck down Roe v. Wade. The Yonkers NAACP in New York says there's no evidence that anti-Semitic remarks were made at a basketball game at Roosevelt High School earlier this month. The local NAACP branch alleges that there was a rush to judge and that allegations are untrue and unfair. The January 4th game ended early and the Roosevelt basketball coach was fired. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Shop the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Valid 1/4/24 to 1/24/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year.
Oh, absolutely, tapped in. We need everybody to hit the like button. Listen.
Climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city.
Damn it, Michael was playing? Fuck. Oh, well, this video gonna get struck. I didn't even know Mike was playing. Damn. Yeah, this video is gonna be like blocked. That Michael Jackson? Y'all heard that Michael Jackson? Did y'all hear that? Ah, it's over. It's over. So, somebody say loud and clear. Uh, so, please hit the like button. Um, we still have 17 copies of The Shrouded Lighthouse available for only $10. The only extra you're gonna have to pay is for shipping and handling, which is 13 bucks. So we got 17 copies of The Shrouded Lighthouse at 50% off. So the next 17 people, if you go to my website, mrzowhat.com, and order a copy of The Shrouded Lighthouse, it's 10 bucks. It's 10 bucks plus $13 shipping and handling. I go to the post office again tomorrow and on Saturday. So if you want to get your copy, now's the time to do it. And besides, you help support a black business such as my own. I am a self-made guy. Um, Again, self-published author. The next book, though, won't be. But this particular book, if you want a copy of it, please go to my website, mrzowhat.com, and we good. mrzowhat.com, and we are golden. The Shrouded Lighthouse the book normally sells for $45. It's on sale for 10 plus the shipping and handling. So anybody in here who hasn't purchased a copy of it, who hasn't read it, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You guys should definitely go get the book. You should definitely support the work. Also, if you don't want to do that, man, you can hit me on Cash App. Drop some twos and fews on my Cash App. Please support me. Or you can hit that $ down at the bottom of the chat and get the super chat popping. We're already 35 minutes into the show, and we have not one super chat. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the information, if you enjoy the presentation of the information, yo, please support me in whatever way you see fit. You could do Cash App, you could do Super Chat, or you can go to my website, www.mrzowhat, and purchase a discounted copy of my book. And for everybody that's purchasing a copy of my book, of course, I will sign it. For the 3 people who purchased their copy yesterday, I signed those books with a personal note. So if you want to do that, I think you should. 30 seconds.
Drop first. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just out of fight with my family. Never something tricky you told. We really got confrontation. And we just get through the storm. I think she get it from my mama. But we in this past down the road. Every time when I'm falling out of trouble, she's moving to the listen my pulse. I got problems. And I'm the type of person I so just lay it back in my hands.
suffering is not because of the pain we experience, but because of the refusal to accept the pain. And I just really got that very clearly, very recently. So all my life I've been carrying on the pain and the resistance to the pain of what happened to me in infancy and what happened to my family, which is that being Jews in Hungary under the Nazi occupation, my family was devastated by the genocide. My grandparents were killed in Auschwitz. My mother and I spent my first year of my life under Nazi occupation, under conditions of privation and terror. I was sick. I was hungry. I was separated from my mother as a 1-year-old. And all that left a deep imprint in my brain and in my mind and in my body. So based on that childhood infant travail, I'd always been convinced that some light had been killed inside me that will never open up. The light of unity, the light of love, the light of presence, you know? I could talk about it, I could teach about it, I could help others, but I would never get there myself. I was talking to a friend of mine and he said, you, Gabor, have always had this loyalty to your grandparents who were killed in Auschwitz and to all the suffering in the world. And you've always made yourself believe that if for you to be happy or to experience joy is to betray all that suffering. And I was talking to somebody else, and she said to me, you can't give the Nazis that victory, that they killed the light in you. You can't give that to them. And it really hurts, you know?
Woo! Woo! You may not have been in Auschwitz, but your forefathers were on those ships. And then for the people who argue, oh, black people are the original Native Americans. We were here on Turtle Island first. Okay, fine. Your foreparents suffered from smallpox, right? And was destroyed by an invading people from somewhere else. Are you trying to tell me that isn't holographically imprinted on your soul? And yet we want closeness. We want relationships, right? And I keep telling y'all, relationships can only be a safe haven for you when you're healed. They are not a safe haven for you before you're healed. Now, healing is an ongoing process. So the whole mission is to be in relationship, to recognize what you need to work on internally. In my relationship dismount, I say relationships are a highly reflective classroom where the biofeedback you get from your partner is your personal curriculum. That was 2015. Psychologists are saying the same thing. I got professors teaching out of this book, man. Do you understand? But when you heal, you holographically change the course of your lineage, past and present, and into the future. Do you understand? Holographic, your whole story, your whole narrative. I was sitting with a priest, a Babalao, from the Ifa tradition. And what he said to me was profound. He said, brother, was one of your grandfathers abusive? Now, I only got a little bit of the information. My uncles and aunts didn't want to share it all. But my mother told me a little bit about it. Her father was exceedingly abusive to my grandmother, whom I never met. This was back in 2018. The brother said, hey, man, you got to go and rectify this because he's in you. And anytime you've had a flare up, that's him. Holographic. When you heal, the lineage heals. That's a whole different spin on generational curses, isn't it? How do we apply holographic healing? Holographic healing can be applied to specific areas of the body or health conditions through the science of neuroplasticity. That's your brain, changing the brain patterns, psychotherapy, and quantum physics. Holographic memory resolution, HMR, offers a powerful therapy that listen to this, man, that allows individuals to heal from childhood trauma and psychosomatic illnesses without feeling re-traumatized by the memory of it. You guys everybody want to talk about who got the flyest bag, who got the flyest car, who got all the resources. If you don't have these type of resources in your relationship, how's it going to work without conflict? I'm going to ask that question again. Have you ever been in a relationship that was devoid of fear, trust, loyalty, ego, all the low vibrational pieces? Apathy, shame, guilt. Hell, back in the day, shame was a part of parenting. You telling me it's not holographic? Your whole story doesn't go with you? Holographic healing is necessary. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brother, wow, you're trying to go so deep, but that's great, because what I'm calling about, as a white guy, because I know the listeners know I'm white, but
you are brother, Sean. You are brother from another mother now. Just go ahead and say your piece.
That's right, but, there could be new listeners, so I'm always mindful of that. So, there is systemic racism. Let's just keep it to our country, the United States. There is systemic racism, and it has serious wounds. Serious wounds. I mean, ones that I'll never understand completely because I never experienced it, right? But
Break after phone call.
try to look at things in ethnicity instead of race, because race is a construct.
Agreed, yes.
And, yes, but ethnicity means there's a whole nother background on that. So that really contributes to the wound here in this country. We are making progress, but it's never fast enough for me to make progress in terms of black and brown people. It's not going to be fast enough for me until we get to a point where we're all kind of somehow on the same playing field. And I know that sounds messed up, but I'm being honest. And I'm trying to say that when you deal with those wounds, and you're dealing with those wounds, please, people, understand how important you are to the progress that we'll make in the future, because you are the brains. You are the people that will make huge achievements throughout history. Throughout history it's happened, brother. And it's not just black and brown people. Of course, there's white people that have done that. But I'm saying, make sure you understand that these wounds don't keep you from making those achievements that will make us all, because it's e pluribus unum in this country, that we are our unity, United States of America, that we make this damn thing happen good and much better than it is right now.
Thank you, my brother. Guess what you just did?
Brought Oak Town in the house.
Town business. Hey, if there's anybody else in Oakland listening right now, shout out to the Oakland area, Bay Area, yay area. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me. We're having a national discussion when I come forward. Of course, I'm going to talk to Dallas, Texas and Houston, Texas. But if you're in Pasadena, Pacoima, Pomona, Palisades, Culver City, Hawthorne, Watts, Compton, listen, Downey, no matter where you are, Altadena, listen, get to your phone lines. I want to talk to my people. Let's get it cracking. 800-920-1580. Hey, you know what's funny? My youngest son is texting me during the show. He was like, Dad, I like that shirt. I'm like, I thought it was somebody in the chat, but it was actually a text from my youngest. He was like, Dad, just random. I don't even know that you know what I'm saying? I don't even know that he watching. Daniel Woodson, Rev Pork Chop. What that po to mean? He was like, Dad, I like the shirt. My sons are crazy, man. Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, man. Tony the Angel. Absolutely. Wasn't that random? Just he didn't say nothing about nothing else. He just said, Dad, I like your shirt. Truemonger, but in context to what? Funny in context to what? Like I wanna laugh too. Hey Shane Artiste, thank you for the little 5 spot, man. Every little bit counts. No, he wrote it, Reverend Pork Chop. Or Reverend Poke Chop. I like poke.
My mom has taken up going to the live at 30 to practice yoga. My dad's going to a club, but not a book club.
Hey, thank you, Shane. I meant Suge Mac 510. Here we go.
Once again, my friends and countrymen, and thus your ears and minds. Wow. That's
Can I talk to you? Remind me of something I know, baby, baby. Silly child like you. Name was Sadie. That Jack Herrera, boy. We on fire tonight. My playlist is my co-host. That record is called Deja Vu by Jack Herrera, which is a group that was led by John B. Came out in the 90s. None of these records came out in the 90s. It was just recently released, but these are some great records, and I just love bringing them to your attention. Tonight's topic, the death of fear and trust, holographic healing, generational curses. Of course, we're talking about it. First off, you have to understand the concept of holography is talking about wholeness. In quantum physics, it was Dr. David Bohm who was one of the forerunners of this idea when he wrote a book called Wholeness and the Implicate Order. And he talked about the implicate and explicate order, or the inner and outer order, and how they enfolded into one another as one movement that he called the hollow movement. But that is quantum physics talking about wholeness. But ancient spirituality talked about wholeness all the time. Whenever they spoke of God, they talked about wholeness. God is one, right? Allahu in the Quran, Allahu Ahad. Allah is one, right? They talked about wholeness, right? They have no other God. There's only one God. Everybody else is fake. And God is supposed to be infinite. These are all metaphors, of course. God is infinite, right? And if God is infinite, how can he not be you? So the Hindus talks about, excuse me, I don't like using the term Hindus. Our brothers in the Kush, Indus Valley talk about oneness when they talk about the universality at a certain level of consciousness that represents the oneness of God, the oneness of all things. And so this holographic principle is now being integrated into therapy, psychology, quantum mechanics, but we have no idea that we are a holographic representation of our entire generation, right? We have no idea about it. Interconnectedness of mind, body, and soul. Holographic healing acknowledges the interconnectedness of mind, body, and soul. It recognizes that physical, emotional, and spiritual imbalances are intertwined and cannot be addressed in isolation. By addressing the holographic nature of our being, holographic healing provides a holistic approach that promotes balance and harmony on all levels of existence. This is why I've been saying for years, stop talking that I deserve. You deserve who you are. You're getting the lesson that you need to up-level you. Listen to what I'm about to say. You up-leveling is not a destination. I need you to understand that. It's not a destination. See, we get caught up in the destination. We're looking for a particular outcome. No. It's not a destination. It's your nature. So you think you're up-leveling and let me aspire and be ambitious. No, that's going to prevent you from getting there. Being is not a destination. I need you to understand that, right? You're trying to realize and recognize your natural state, which is one with everything. This is Maslow's hierarchy. At the top of it is self-actualization. Well, our brothers from the Indus Valley, the Kush Valley, would say self-realization. Not just self-actualization, moksha, samadhi, right? Ecstasy, spiritual ecstasy. This is a higher level of consciousness. And very few of us reach this level. Do you understand what I'm saying? I need y'all to understand this. We're getting deep tonight. I know people don't want to get this deep, but you talking about why your relationship don't work. It's because you're misusing it. It's a classroom that you've turned into leisure land. Right? Oh, I want sex. I want Netflix and chill. I want babies. I want vacations. You understand? Relationship is work. It's where you go to work on yourself. Look at relationship as a spiritual garage. Take it in there. You are the mechanic for your own soul. That's what the Masons believe. Oh, the Masons are demonic. No, they're not. It's just that, you don't understand the propaganda around them. They don't want everybody becoming what they are. What is a Mason? What is a Mason? A master builder. What is a master builder? An architect. What are they building? Character. That's why they use the symbols of the operative Mason. They're speculative Masons. What does that mean? We're going to use the symbol that somebody who knows how to use a gavel and a plumb line and a level, we're going to use their symbols to apply to ourselves. We want to build a perfect structure within ourselves the way the original architects built the perfect structure that is represented by the pyramid. Oh, that's the devil. No, it's not. You'd be surprised how many damn preachers out here are Masons. They ain't gonna tell their parishioners because they're sworn to secrecy. Secret and sacred means the same thing. That's why the word layman means only the priest. He is not of a priest. He is not of the cloth. That's what the word layman means. He's not of the cloth. He's not a priest. So he should know this information. Well, they got that from ancient Egypt. Only the Egyptian priests could read hieroglyphics. Nobody else could. Because this information of up-leveling was kept secret, thus sacred. But now it's out. You got the power to up-level. When we come forward, I promise I'm going to get to these phone calls. I'm just in my bag right now. It's we fell in love. Oh, we lit tonight. Yo, this is a lit one right now. Come on, y'all. This topic is too lit for y'all not to be rocking with me, man. Should I timestamp for this? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. During a campaign event in Manassas, Virginia, Biden said Donald Trump and his conservative majority Supreme Court. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying, though? Listen, sometimes I wonder if the shit is impactful because sometimes y'all just be like, engage, interact any way you know how. It's not just about a super chat or a cash app. Sometimes it's about a question. Sometimes it's about a phone call. Where's Reggie? Where's Nikki? Where is my people? We got Truemonger. We got Attila. Soon as I get back, I'm going to Truemonger, then Attila. But listen, y'all should be on these phone lines, man. Y'all should be talking to me tonight. And there's some folk in here. Hey, lovers and lurkers, at least say hello. What would it hurt to say hello? Say what's up to your brother. Lovers and lurkers, people in the background at work. Say what's up to your brother Zoe. Say what's up to your brother, lovers and lurkers. Suge Mac, you not a lurker, bro. You been talking this whole time. Suge Mac said, I'm right here. But I know you at work. And listen, our super chat is at $29.99. I think we did about $60 yesterday or $45 or something yesterday. Can we get a sustained effort tonight to get us to $100? Once we get to $100, I promise I'll tell you guys, yo, we're at $100. You guys can stop. But right now, we're at $29.99. Please support the channel in any way you know how. I gave you different options. You could buy a book. You can shoot me a cash app. You can hit the super chat. Ghetto Gourmet. Peace. Hey, Ghetto Gourmet, have you been listening to what we doing in here tonight? I don't know if you've been listening, bro. This is a show right here. This, to me, this is one for the ages. Ghetto Gourmet in the building, man. Here we go.
Does black love still exist? What are your men won't turn off? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
We love you, Zylan. Seriously. That's a tough one. Thanks, Carlton. Thank you, brother.
How does he maintain his humposity?
Zylan, thank you.
Why can't you open up, brother? I'm a karate man.
Thank you.
On the inside, they don't show their weaknesses.
How do you rate women so well?
So Williams. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
Welcome. My name's Carl Mollison, and I'm a board-certified hypnotist. Are you a warrior? You have too much anger in your life. Are you avoiding things you need to do? Have self-doubts? What about fears? What may happen? That's good. You're human. Almost everyone has unwanted thoughts and feelings getting in their way sometime or other, whether they're dealing with school, work, or relationship issues. And the simple reason is that painful experiences can leave a scar that doesn't heal. And now there's a breakthrough technique that provides a simple solution that works for all ages. And this changes everything in how you should think about using your mind to help your health, well-being, and happiness. It applies to you, to everyone in your family, and to everyone you know. When you have unpleasant thoughts and feelings, they're just the tip of an iceberg. They're the echo of stored negative emotion from a stressful experience in your past. Would you like to have a do-over for some of the bad times in your life? We've all had that fantasy. If I could just go back and prevent that. If I only knew then what I know now, what a difference it would make. Well, what if I told you that there is now a way to use the power of your mind to rewrite your personal history and change your well-being and happiness? A way that's quick, that's easy to do, and can even be facilitated in sessions done right over the phone. Imagine.
Listen, that's another problem. We worried about quick and easy. Convenience. Sometimes the work is the work, and you got to just apply it. The VOR is live on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a barn burner tonight. The death of fear and trust. Holographic healing. It's not going to be easy. Okay? It's not going to be easy. Right? But if you could heal the whole self, you could put a stop to toxicity in your lineage. I think that's an interesting notion. We're trying to delve into it. What is the evidence and the research on it? While holographic healing is a relatively new field, there is growing evidence and research supporting its effectiveness. Case studies and real-life examples demonstrate the power of holographic healing in transforming individuals' lives. As more research is conducted, the scientific community is beginning to recognize the potential of holographic healing as a valid approach to healing and well-being. But that's just the relationship piece. Look up the holographic principle. This holographic stuff doesn't just apply to relationships. I'm applying it to relationships, right? But it was born out of the holographic principle for the entire reality that we live in, considered to be a hologram, which is why the movie The Matrix is such an impactful film, where people are actually living in a simulation a hologram. They're now saying, leading scientists, that's where we live. So if we're living in a hologram, is this reality a test field, a testing space, so you can really live for real love, for real relationships? Do you have to pass some type of spiritual exam to be able to get to real love? So many people think they just supposed to have it because they want it. I'm going to tell you right now, anything that is spiritually based cannot be purchased with money. It operates with a different type of economy. You know what it is? The economy of self-work, shadow work. Whew. Yeesh. What are the long-term effects and what long-term effects in relationships? Holographic healing has the potential for profound long-term effects on individuals and their relationships. As individuals heal and release generational curses, they break free from patterns of dysfunction and trauma that have been passed down through their lineage. This healing could create a ripple throughout time, positively impacting future generations and fostering healthier relationships based on love, compassion, empathy, understanding. Sheesh, this is heavy. Let's get my caller in here. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. What up?
What do, man?
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? I know I went off the deep end tonight, but I had to.
It's interesting because I'm trying to figure out how you can have be in a relationship without trust. Because I don't necessarily see.
You said it. Wait, you said an inner relationship, or
I
an?
don't see how you can have a relationship without some level of trust.
Right. I know.
Because to me, I don't see trust as fear based. It may be for some people, but not for me necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see myself to being in a relationship and trust not be a factor in it.
I know. You're my case study tonight. I know. You represent a lot of people. Trust is like that old couch we love so much. I know. We live in a fear-based, toxic society. So, of course, what you're saying is 100% correct. Please continue.
I think it has its place, but then you should have some value in it. But I don't think you should let it control you. I think that's what people mess up at. Is they overconsume themselves with it to where they may not know how to function. You gotta trust people to be people and realize that we're all fallible. We all have flaws. We're gonna make mistakes. Some may be more costly than others.
But you know what? That reminds me of that famous, the famous DMX. I trust people to be people, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I trust people to be themselves, Right? Here's the thing. That's the easy default where cynicism, right, slips in. Well, I trust people to let me down. I trust people to not show up. Listen to what I'm saying now. Trust is rooted in fear. In order for me to trust you, which is really let you in and be vulnerable, I need to know that you won't do anything to harm, you won't do anything to disrespect, you won't do anything to demean, you won't do, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fear-based in nature. So then this cynicism, the reverse of it is, I trust you to be who you are. Means now, not I actually accept you as you are. No, I trust you to let me down. Do you see the negative slant? This is where people are with it, man. Go ahead, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe people should hold off on their expectations. And because you don't never know how you may respond to somebody as far as trust goes until it's been violated.
Mm.
You know?
Well, people gonna violate. People gonna violate though.
Yeah, they are. But that's when the real test for you comes in. How you gonna deal with it? It won't always be positive. It won't always be negative. But either way, you should learn from it because it's gonna happen. No matter what. You may violate somebody's trust, whether it was on purpose or not. But if you do, a sensible person will acknowledge that, be genuinely apologetic for it, and try and do better going forward. But I think people have screwed it up so much to where they don't value trust. They don't value having be with the person that they're with. They don't value their trust. They just think they can do whatever they're going to do and it's going to be okay because it is what it is. That's not always the case. You can only violate a person so many times before they just don't care anymore.
Right.
You can't take that for granted if you really care about that person. So maybe everybody's going. You don't necessarily have to operate in fear, but I don't think it's necessarily false to say that everybody has a level of fear in them because we're human. We're going to have that. But just don't let it control you.
Let me ask you this.
Don't let it, yeah.
Do you believe that everything created by a higher source, if you believe in a higher source, well, first I should start there. Do you believe in a higher source?
Yes.
Do you believe that we are interconnected to the higher source? Do you believe that the higher source is scared or fearful of anything?
I don't know, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't have it.
Maybe fear is an illusion that only exists within our perspective here on this plane of existence. Maybe fear is associated with ego, right? Because what is the one thing that fear or that ego is afraid of? It's death. First off, the essence of the source that we're talking about, that we're connected to, doesn't have an identity. Why? Because an identity is a border, a boundary, a demarcation point. In other words, God is ineffable. In other words, it can't be brought into words. It can't really be described. So it doesn't have an identity. You know who has an identity? You. You identify as the me. Krishnamurti would say the me is the center. So you bring your center into relationships and you're saying, this is what me, I, the center, signed up for. And if I don't get it from another person, this was a failure. Or in order for you to get involved with me and my center, I need to be able to trust you. See, God doesn't operate in fear. Fear, it doesn't exist in the source, but it exists in the illusion of identity. You, the personage. That make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, you smoke a bag of that if you smoked. Man, I love you, brother. I love you, man. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for holding tight. Hey, you brought Dallas, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Before I go forward, I just got to say this. Thomas Campbell, author of My Big Toe, the awakening session or section of that book. Fear is like mind cancer. It is a disease of consciousness, a dysfunctional condition of ignorance trapped within a little picture, i.e., your identity. When we come forward, more from this holographic healing show.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the
Hey, True, boy. True. That's why I like when True call, man. Woo. Hey, man, I love it when True call. He gonna get the info. He gonna get me to talk about it. That's what I'm talking about, True. Get me to talk about it. Get me to get into my bag. Hey, come on, y'all. We close. We are at $74.99. Everybody who hit the super chat and showed love, man, please get us to that $100 mark. Please, please, please continue to support. You can support by hitting the Cash App. Put my Cash App in the chat, or you can support by hitting the super chat. Or you could purchase one of my $10 books. A. Britt Atwater did us a solid. The man came, sat with me at the cigar lounge, chopped it up with me and the homies, man. I think Ray Grady was there, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody, Chase was there. Like, all the homies was there, and we chopped it up, and it was all good. I don't think Ray was there, but it was fly, man. And he bought $1,000 worth of books, and he told me to sell those books at a discounted rate. Those books are $10 now. Those books are $10. We've got 17 copies. Nobody has purchased one tonight, but we've got 17 copies available right now at the $10 rate. So please, please, please get your book. It's gonna end up costing $23 because of the shipping and handling, but that's still 50% off. So go get a copy of my holographic or shrouded lighthouse book. Tony J. Hill, thank you for the 3 spot, man. I appreciate it. Live in 30.
In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's walking papers in. Well, I want to be the man that
Okay.
raised me to be. My mama taught me. See, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, my playlist is my co-host. Who is that? Raheem Divine? Man, that playlist is amazing. My playlist is my co-host. You guys know what I do here. We're having a deep conversation. According to Dr. Marielle Bouquet, her new book, Breaking the Cycle, 7 generations of trauma reflects 128 fifth grandparents who birthed your 64th great grandparents, who birthed your 30 or your 32 third great grandparents, who birthed your 16 great-great-grandparents, who birthed your 8 great-grandparents, who birthed your 4 grandparents, who birthed your 2 parents, who finally birthed you. Taken together and counted only 7 generations back, you can carry at least 255 distinct histories in you, including your own. That is holographic. Hollow, grandma, whole, writing. That's just 7 generations. You want to go 20 generations? Want to go 30 generations? Do you understand? Holographic. Your whole story is with you. The genes have been passed down. Do you understand? I have to keep saying this. But imagine if you could heal holographically speaking. See, we focus on a situation. Let's heal this situation. Let's get this situation together. Can you imagine the shift? That's why I offered the big idea. The big idea is, can you imagine being in a relationship that is devoid of the need of trust? Truemonger calls in and lays it flat. I can't conceptualize it. I can't see it. I know. You got 255 histories in your spirit. HMT equals holistic healing. Similar to a range of similar to range of motion in the physical space, range of existence refers to the range of living experience that is available to a being's existence in the holistic space. Oof. Unaddressed hurt or any other chakra trauma is like an injured / tight muscle in movement. It restricts the range of possibilities of muscle movement. Ooh, it restricts the range of heart movement, of empathy movement, of consideration movement, of collaboration movement. Oh, I know y'all not ready today. Are you ready this evening? Please, let's go deeper. Who I got on the line? Who's been on the longest? Attila from Houston, Texas. Get in here. Attila. Yes.
Hi, Uncle Bill. How are you?
What's up? What's up?
Nothing much. Look, I'm glad I wrote some notes. Okay. All right. So to start, I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about trust. Kids are so trusting, right? Because if you think about it, it's essentially rooted in our nature. That's the thing that makes you climb trees and do all the silly stuff you do as a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you get corrupted by fear, by doubt, by other people's opinions. Yeah, and some people have already kind of hinted at this in the chat. But think about it. So what happens at that point? If fear takes over, if doubt takes over, your trust becomes transactional.
Transactional trust. Lord, keep going.
So now you're going to place a premium on your trust, and you're going to treat it as a bargaining chip. Right? So the problem with that is that in your relationships, and I've seen this happen to myself all the time, right? You're creating an invitation for your person, your partner, to transgress. It's literally like putting a don't enter sign.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what it is.
Yeah. What you resist persists, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm resisting betrayal, I can't be surprised when it shows up.
Ooh, because it's a magnet. The resistance is the magnet. Come. That's why the only thing you said that I'm not saying I disagree with it. I just say we have to swap out the word. We can't say children are trusting anymore. We have to say children are accepting. Do you see? Because if they were trusting fear, because the way trust works is I need to feel safe. Children are accepting until you hurt them. Now they're looking for means and ways to trust people. That's why you hear people say, "Shit, this kid don't trust everybody now. That child ain't just gonna mess with no." You understand? Things done happen, so they're a little bit more leery of people. Children are accepting until we shift them into being trusting. Talk to me.
Oh, well, I mean, okay. So if you're going with that, I can speak for myself, right? So my emphasis in trust, I've noticed with my relationships, it's like a continual pattern. It's based on rejection and self-degradation, right? So if I'm not accepting myself, why would you?
Right.
So I'm literally like red taping off the access to any vulnerability, right? Like I'm literally, if I think about it from a teacher's perspective, it's like if you had an entrance exam that you purposely crafted so that your students will fail it. Mm-hmm. Right? Because you're trying to eliminate any doubt, any possibility that that person will cause you pain, but that's impossible to pass. Mm-hmm. And so essentially, I guess what I'm getting at is... Say
it again. What's impossible to pass?
That entrance exam, this little fake entrance exam that says that, basically you got to earn my trust. Mm-hmm.
Well,
like it's a paycheck.
Well, first off, because we don't understand ourselves, right? There's a lack of self-awareness. We don't even know the right test to construct. You see, all we trying to do is protect. And then when we feel like we're not safe or not protected, we shift to projecting. Go ahead.
I mean, I feel to me that's no different than like having a pop quiz. Like literally being like, okay, you gonna walk in this classroom, all right, quiz right now. Like that's literally what that kind of is symbolically representative to me, because on the outside, your partner is not, they're just like, what is going on? Like, what are all these barriers? What's happening here? And so I guess... Wait,
stay with me. And don't forget your thought. When we come forward, Attila is on fire. We got more. Who said I almost cuss? Are y'all understanding the ripples and the layers of what we laying down right now?
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris held their first joint campaign rally of the 2024 election season. The two are making abortion rights a key issue of the 2024...
Did I? Almost said shit. I don't want to cuss. Did I say? Yes. Tim book orders on the way, Zoe. 18 books purchased in... What? Nah. What you talking about? What you talking about, Ghetto Gourmet? Hold on. What you talking about? Oh, we got a book. We got a book sale. We got one. Baba Wose. We got one. Baba Wose. We got one. Yeah, we got one. I love it, y'all. Man. What is my brother Ghetto Gourmet talking about? Ghetto Gourmet, you just took us to $79.99 with the 5 spot. I appreciate it.
This year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Top 1580.
I feel like something big is about to happen. Ghetto Gourmet, what are you about to do, man? Let me know.
Call 323-290-4690.
Whoa. So Ghetto Gourmet, instead of going through the website, which is perfectly fine with me, Ghetto Gourmet just bought 10 copies of The Shrouded Lighthouse. He just sent the payment for 10 copies of The Shrouded Lighthouse at its discounted rate. I'm going to package them things up and I'm going to send them to you, my brother. All right? Come on. He just bought 10 copies at a discounted rate, man. Ghetto Gourmet. Now listen, we only got 7 left. So I'm about to send you money for 10 books. That will be the total of 18 books purchased. Yes. Yes. Well, we had 3 purchased. So that means 10, 13. That means we have 7 left. Because my brother bought enough for 20 books. So we have 7 books left. But that's all right. You did 10. You ain't got to worry about nothing else. All right? Wow. I'm going to package up your 10 books and I'm going to ship them suckers out. Wow. Wow. I'm blown away, man. Wow. My brother's done stepped up in here, man. Yo. Crazy. Mm. You want me to sell them as per Brit? Do not send them? Oh. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Since y'all doing it like that, this is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to think of something. I'm going to give some of those books. I'm going to gift some of those books to some folks. Wow. He said, sell them as per a Brit. Do not send them to me, Zoe. Sell them. Crazy. Man, y'all brothers is, man. Damn. Y'all brothers is different. What's the clip? What's the clip?
It's a short about holographic manipulation therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Bill Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Zo. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip.
Thank you.
And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get
Thank you.
past how she was disrespected. Neglected my effort, a third with no trust. Pretty games and affairs that be tearing us up. And things that picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need help to serve.
It's crazy.
Hi, James Breeding, your chronic pain expert. Holographic manipulation therapy, or HMT, the modality I use, is about reducing the effect of trauma on the nervous system. As we know, traumatic memories are stored all over the body. We access these memories by the feelings that the trauma generates. Anxiety from abuse can be felt in the form of a racing heartbeat, sweating, or constricted muscles, tightness in the chest. We work to reframe these memories with positive emotions while releasing the negative ones. The goal is to restore balance to the nervous system versus the constant fight or flight pattern. I work with women who are ready to understand how their mind works. We utilize the amazing healing powers of the unconscious mind. Message me when you're ready to take your life back.
This is crazy. It's possible to actually heal. Many of us thought healing was about just sitting back, letting time pass, and then it'll be all right. Listen, your body is a repository of your experiences. It is the library of your experiences. Through its senses, it records everything. The 5 senses, right? But we think it's just recorded in the Bible, in the body. No, it's recorded in the spirit. It's recorded psychologically, holographically. As Dr. and I love this young lady because I was reading her book, man, and I was blown away. As Dr. Marielle Bouquet states, taken all together and counting only 7 generations back, you carry at least 255 direct histories in you, including your own. To me, that's holographic. Holographic means your whole story. Your whole story isn't just the ego that is you that was given a name by your parents. You're carrying a spiritual lineage with you. This is deep, man. This is deep. And yet we want to hop in and out of relationships and call ourselves getting to know folk. Are you going to get to know their 255 stories? Their 255 histories? Do you know your 255 histories? Self-reflection and ancestral trauma. Self-reflection and self-awareness are integral to the holographic healing process. By engaging in self-reflection, individuals can uncover and heal their own ancestral trauma, which has been passed down through generation. This healing not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to the healing of their communities and the collective human experience. You say, oh, Zoe, that's a word salad, right? You think maybe that's a word salad? I want to know. You guys think that just sounds nice and fluffy, right? Okay, let's go back to Thomas Campbell, and then I'm gonna go to Attila, get her final thought here. Listen to what I'm about to say. This is a quote by Thomas Campbell. My big toe. Toe is an acronym for theory of everything, from the Awakening book. He says, tiny positive or negative increments in the quality of your intent over many thousands of choices eventually lead to either an increasing or decreasing in consciousness quality. Every little choice you make, if it's negative, if it's disrespectful, if it's loving, if it's empathetic, if it's caring, if it's nurturing, over thousands of choices adds or takes away from the overall consciousness of existence. Masters know this. Only silly little spiritually immature children think they are the real identity. Once you lose self, that's when you find freedom. Okay, let me get back to the caller. I'll tell her, get in here.
Uncle Zoe. Wow.
I'm in here cutting up. I know.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. I got to do what I got to do now.
No, listen, this is much appreciated. But real quick, my last final thought. It's funny you mentioned choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that many times your choices are rooted in your perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your perception of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
your environment.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about that also is kind of a root of your trust. So if I perceive myself to be unattractive or unworthy or whatever, the more defensive I'm going to become.
Mm-hmm.
And the more trust or security I'm going to require from others,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you want to take it, like, even in a spiritual way, right? Like, your spirit is so dwarfed, like, so shrunken,
Mm-hmm.
that you're trying to control others so that you can maintain your own strength.
So let me stop you.
But that just makes you perpetually needy.
Let me stop you. Are we suffering from trust porn addiction?
Hey, perhaps.
Okay. I know that sounds like it came out of nowhere, right? I know it sounds like it came out of left field. I know. But I'll tell her, listen to this. Listen to this, I'll tell her. To understand fear, you must also understand pleasure. They are interrelated. Without understanding one, you cannot understand the other. This means that one cannot say, I must only have pleasure and no fear. Fear is the other side of the coin, which is called pleasure. But to run away from fear is only to increase it. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So in context of what you just said, I'm going to control this because now I have a sense of power. Well, power is a type of pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm only going to be around certain people that build me up, that lift me up. Do you see? That's a type of pleasure.
This is true. Well, that's why I said, like, at the beginning, you're inviting the person to transgress against you when you do that.
Do you see?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. You're in pursuit of the ideal situation, which is pleasurable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is actually calling in fear, right?
Right, because it's like that ever needed balance, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess, so question for you. So instead of, how do I say this? It also kind of reminds me of the Eightfold Path, low key. So,
Buddhism, exactly.
right? So instead of seeking this outcome, we're really supposed to be kind of enjoying the scenery.
How about it?
Right?
How about
the journey.
Huh. Even when it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the process of growing up spiritually, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes, there we go. Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
And we love you for it. Thank you for the call. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the SIP. Nikki from the SIP in the building. Hey, yo.
Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties.
Yo, I don't know what, I'm going to tell y'all like this, like dead ass, seriously, dead ass. This is a top 3, top 2 show. Y'all going to have to go back and listen to it again but this is a top 3, top 2 show by far. Do y'all understand? This is a top 2, top 3 show. Great call, Attila. Great call. Dead ass. This is a top 2, top 3 show. Like, this one of them. Like, you can play this forever. Am I lying? Do y'all think so? Or because I don't want to be gassing it. Like, Attila, amazing conversation. You, like Truemonger, man, y'all bring out other elements. Y'all get me in my bag. And then I just keep elevating. I just love that, man. I love that. Trust porn. Don't make me do a whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, what in the world? Talk to us, John B. What in the world are we doing? The VOR and his playlist are in the building live from KBLA Talk 1580. Tonight's topic has been earth shattering. Deep, man. We got callers. I want to get them in right quick. Nikki from the SIP. You already know what it is. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Get at us.
It's deep.
Yes.
So, food for thought.
Food for thought. Here we go.
Do we know that science tells us bleach, heat, UV rays kill DNA? So every time any one of us, do our work and seek to elevate toward source, and we break a generational curse, is it possible that we have put spiritual bleach on a DNA strand when we break a generational curse?
Or is that their actual burial?
Okay.
Ooh.
Thus allowing room for a new DNA strand to grow going forward.
Mm.
So you no longer have taken that crooked DNA strand, like a sickle cell,
Mm-hmm.
into the next. If science tells us, as Black, brown, pigmented people, we are predisposed to various forms of dis-ease, is it possible then that our ancestors have deposited those forms and they show up as dis-ease, and we continue to perpetuate lest we alter our behavior and stop?
And could we say that the dis-ease are actually degrees? Come on, keep going. Oh, Lord.
Diabetes, level 1, type 2 diabetes, pediatric diabetes. Just, you understand. Am I in the ballpark?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
The definition of trust, to believe in the reliability, truth, ability, strength of someone or something. Okay. Well, in that place where you were talking about trust porn, because see, now there's a perversion there.
Come on.
Talking about
yes, ma'am. Come on.
and that's not of source. You can't go in that place where the light and source is if there is a perversion. We can't be spiritually whole. Remember, whole means nothing missing, nothing broken. If we're carrying a trust perversion DNA strand.
yes.
We can't do that. Because remember, source tells us our only work is to believe him. That's our only work, according to source.
My.
Isn't it interesting that source says to believe and trust is to believe?
Yes.
Did y'all get that? Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it possible in the trust porn that we're putting that belief in the wrong place because it's perverted?
Deaconess, preach. Yes.
I'm just saying.
No, you cooking. I love every bit of it.
And the projection is created. False experiences appearing real.
Right. And that's fear, right? Fear as an illusion. Yes.
That's right. Because you have two types. You have learned fear, and then you have innate fear. But if you're operating from a trust perversion DNA strain, everything becomes clouded if there's a perversion.
Now, let me just say this. We got really deep tonight, Nikki. But you know what? Many people will not take this conversation because it's not rooted in society. What did Jesus say about his world versus the other world to come, right? More people are focused on this society, right, than they are what relationships really have to offer us. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, most of society who live in that place where they don't want to do the work, can't take the time, aren't emotionally equipped to put their mind around beyond now.
Ooh, okay. Beyond the light bill.
Correct.
Yes.
We still, as a society of humans, haven't grasped, by and large, that there isn't inherently a destination. The journey on goes. This is a pit stop along the way. There is a continuum. So if you cannot conceptualize because of fear or lack of learning, haven't elevated yet, never been exposed to, whatever the reason is, it is difficult then to rectify the crooked chromosomes.
Okay, Nikki, you've done enough tonight. You've done it. We got to get our final caller in here. Nikki, my goodness. What did you just do, sweetheart? The crooked chromosomes. Did y'all hear that? Oh, she brought the sip in the building. We love Nikki. Nikki, call us again. We love you. We love you. We love you. Hey, Britt Atwater, man, you got very little time. I hope you got your thought together, man. Hey, talk to me, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Big Bro. So I like the term relationship, and I like this topic, altogether. So we have the term relationship, which goes back to the Latin word "refero." Re means again. Fero means I can carry or bear the load of, right? So I think this should have been a 4-part series, man. You started off in the bottom of the hero's journey, the death and the rebirth, right? So, man, like this is so heavy. And then, so once we come out of this death and rebirth of 255 distinct indirect histories within us, then do we then transcend what Dr. David R. Hawkins referred to as reason and integrity and move into the spiritual paradigms to where relationships no longer really matter to us?
And let me stop you real quick. Rebear the load. Many people have buried the phoenix of their relationship for something new, something novel. Every relationship has the potential to be the phoenix. And I'm not talking about the toxic ones, the abusive ones, the ones you're supposed to get out of. I'm talking about the ones that irritate your spirit. We would rather bury the phoenix than let the phoenix resurrect. Listen, hey, Britt Atwater, you brought San Fernando, California in the building. Up next, my girl, you already know what it is. RSVP with Jill Monroe. You already know the fire shall continue. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing y'all thug thizzle tonight. None but love, none but appreciation. Thank you guys. Deuces.